Hello, myself Sunil Ramkrishnan, and here basically we're discussing about the topic that is basically attraction and its speed, basically. So previously, basically, we were discussing about one topic. Basically, previously we had actually discussed that is basically the next generation, basically next generation attraction. What does actually this mean? Then one person told that basically ask IITs, IIMs, MBA groups, doctors group basically who handles the next generation. Next generation, for example, the IITs and IIM basically groups. His basically next generation is not going to happen. That person which is going, his next generation is going to happen. So we are basically how basically we track that. That basically one question basically one person basically asked. Then he told that basically we are basically planning his future basically, planning his future basically. So this basically was told by one of the IITs, IIMs, and IITs, IIM basically everybody knows where basically these colleges are and where this entire group basically are studying and where is this entire group is doing the job and who is basically investing the money to this group basically in India basically. So they told that basically we are doing future planning of this particular person. Then one person told that his basically future does not exist basically. That's why basically we are not doing any types of plan. For that basically we have to do the expenses basically so that he is not supposed to get any job, he is not supposed to get any money. One person told that basically we are doing expenses for this particular person so that basically he can get the job, he can have the future, he can have the marriage. So like this basically the attraction basically connected to future basically. So future basically means what? Future is this only that his future is supposed to be and his future is not supposed to be. His future is supposed to be and his future is not supposed to be. So here the question is how basically IITs and IIMs group basically say that this person basically next generation is not going to happen. They are basically they told that basically we are not God basically. We only gets the data that this person next generation is supposed to happen and this person basically next generation is not supposed to happen. That's all basically. We don't decide the data basically. Few groups says that basically sometimes we gets the decision. We have to take the decision basically. Sometimes we takes the decision basically. That basically very rare happens basically. Very rare happens. So today basically we started from the next generation whose next generation is supposed to happen and whose next generation is not supposed to happen. So these all are basically planned basically by set of groups basically. One person told that basically Suril, you had not got job 6 times visited Mumbai. So that was some group has done the future plan. Yeah, basically he told yeah. So that basically you should not supposed to get job. You should not supposed to get the marriage. You should not supposed to get next generation. For that basically some group has done this plan in Mumbai because they have got money basically for that. So that basically is not supposed to get job in Mumbai. Who actually does done this plan basically? That is basically the child, next generation. They have told that basically we don't want this type of person basically in Mumbai, and his next generation is not supposed to happen in Mumbai. And Mumbai is basically by default India. Mumbai is basically by default the India's economic country. So just see basically, just taking as an example basically, just taking as an example basically, what actually the future plan is. So this whole thing basically 6 times visited each and everything basically generated one energy basically, and that generated basically one energy basically. And few people says that basically we give the chance basically, so that basically sometime in future basically some big might happen basically, because they say that they don't ignore any of the resources basically. The generation basically, the energy group basically, who basically have the experience, they basically say that we don't ignore anything. That's why we basically directly don't sets the entire energy basically into the universe, and the planet creation happens and it merges with the other planet. So basically we set that particular, for example, six time energy into each and every country basically, and then again we basically repeat the stuff basically, thing basically which was happened in this, in his life. Then again basically the stuff basically starts like this. The energy groups says that basically we will merge basically, that would be good. So they basically merged the entire energy, six time Mumbai visited to universe basically. And like this basically the attraction energy of six time basically generated in universe basically. So few people says that Mumbai is basically growing. That is also basically one question basically somebody told. And few people says that Mumbai is directly connected with the Dubai creation, Ajman creation. First basically Dubai creates the thing basically, then basically they say that basically, yeah, basically the experiment is perfect basically in Mumbai you can create the creation basically. Then basically Dubai says that basically, no, we basically don't do first basically the um, Saudi Arab do this. Then basically, no, Saudi Arab told that no, we don't do first, the Italy group basically do first. Then they say to us basically, they, yeah, basically this creation is perfect. So like this, what actually this is, this creation is what, this is basically called chain creation. That one country has created that stuff basically, they told that, yeah, basically this is perfect. So what actually that perfect is, and then basically the rest of the country created the entire stuff. Like this basically the whole world created. So what actually this perfect is, that is the question basically. One person basically asked, literally he basically told that basically what actually this perfect is. He says that, for example, Italy country basically created everything. Italy country basically created everything, and they basically merged with the entire energies and each and every stuff basically to the universe basically, to the universe basically. Then basically they told that basically the creation basically is perfect. Universe group basically told that the creation is perfect. They basically was shocked basically what actually, but they basically Italy groups told that basically we don't know what is the perfect basically. Still basically we don't know what actually the perfect is. They just literally say that basically, yeah, that's perfect basically, everything is fine, everything is fine basically. Then basically we say that Saudi Arab you create, then basically Saudi Arab says that Dubai you create, then Dubai says that Mumbai you create. Like this basically the entire world created, that is perfect. But universe group basically never told actually what is perfect. That is basically the next generation. One person told that how basically next generation basically, for example, uh, um, set of ONGC group basically they created. They told that basically we want assume that in Mumbai, in Vadodara city and in Mumbai city there are basically around 2 crore bachelors. 2 crore bachelors. So government told that we want to plan his their basically marriages. Few are basically divorced. They told that basically we want to plan the marriage of this particular person. That is basically 2 crore people, and we want to start the next generation. We want to start the next generation. So they basically started planning. IITs groups told that basically we have the data of these 2 crore, and they basically told that this, that. Then basically at last the 2 crore basically marriage started slowly. But Few people told that basically no, 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 we want fast. So they started for fast. So 50,000, 70,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh people basically done the marriage at same date only basically. Like these 2 crore people basically got the marriage, and that 2 crore basically human souls basically was already ready basically with ONGC, IPCL, Reliance. They told that we have the next generation of that particular person basically. Like this basically 2 crore next generation basically they started. As per the basically honeymoon, as per the attraction of the girls and boys basically the as per the visit of the place basically of the honeymoon. Like this basically they allocated the human souls in 2 crore people. Sorry, 2 crore girls basically. First, they basically dumped the attraction, sorry, the human souls into the uh, uh, boy's body. Then basically they dumped it into the girl's body. The person basically told that this is basically what? This is basically, they told that basically first they checks basically whether everything is going to be fine. The next generation which we have set, everything is going to perfect. So for that basically, otherwise basically just 1 day is enough basically. Just for checking basically it takes 1 month, 2 months basically. So first they dumped into the boy's body, and then basically the sperm basically connected that human souls, and then basically they allocated. Then they with the girls basically data was basically merged with that sperm, and then basically the energy got generated, and that energy was checked by the energy companies and the power companies basically, and few satellite groups also basically told that yeah basically this is perfect. Few says that no, this is not perfect. Then again, basically the human souls basically gets dumped into the boy's body. Like this, basically time pass happened. Like this, basically the next generation basically agla generation, that is in Hindi basically it is called agla generation, started the process. Like this entire basically 2 crore people basically got created, and their next generation basically started. The men basically again dumped the sperm to girls' body, and then basically the energy group told that yeah, basically now it's perfect. Then the process basically starts. So this basically has given one name basically, that is checking next generation basically. That is called checking next generation basically. Checking next generation. So generation basically what who is going to the person basically which is going to have the generation, that generation basically started. One person told that he basically aims, for example, one aims oxygen basically company person basically told that we have created this particular person basically. So we are basically, but that person basically told that the aims oxygen basically company has not taken care of that particular person. So this basically complaint basically he has done in front of the world. So world told that basically no, 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 basically next generation aims oxygen you don't do, give to someone else basically. So AIMS Oxygen basically told that basically how basically this you can do. So they basically started doing some plans. They told that we will end his generation. We will not allow him to go further. This that basically the war basically started. So that basically is totally different thing. Now basically the assume that AIMS Oxygen got the contract, and assume that another company also got the contract. So like this basically the next generation basically was allocated. Next generation basically was allocated. Next generation in Hindi it is called Agla generation. So nowadays basically energy companies checks lots of things basically for having the Agla generation. Next generation. In Hindi basically it is called Agla generation. Agla generation means the person which is going to come basically. His future also basically IITs and IM group basically do the plan. IITs and IM basically groups do the plan basically. But that data basically, they say that we only get the data basically by the government basically, who are basically currently sitting in the parliament house, still sitting basically there in the parliament house after doing the next generation plan, still sitting in the parliament house after doing the next generation plan. After doing the next generation plan. In Hindi, basically, that is called Agla Generation Plan, done by the government. But government says that basically we only gets the data basically from the God group. That is basically the Jesus group, Hanuman group, Sri Ram group. These all basically have the family basically. They have basically literally the family. They says that this generation is supposed to go next. This generation is not supposed to go next. Then basically then the um things basically connected with the God family group basically. Then God family groups told that basically we have the balance sheet basically which gets creates what is he is doing, what he is not doing, each and every stuff basically they do the merging and they decides basically his generation has to go and or his generation is not supposed to go. God groups means temple, Sri Ram temple basically is getting created in Ayodhya. Hanuman temple is there. Lots of basically family God families temples are these. Jesus Christ church is there basically. They decide basically that his generation is supposed to go or not supposed to go. So now basically the things basically has attracted towards God family group. Government basically told that no, we don't take the decision. We only basically connect with the God family and they only takes the decision. So previously we were thinking that the government takes it. The government basically can't take direct decision. If this person generation is not supposed to go future. This generation is supposed to go future. So God family basically says that we basically decides the future plan of this particular person. So what is this future? How basically they connects with future? Each and everything basically we are going to discuss in this attraction speed.